Good morning. Hello, happy Tuesday to everybody. You probably expected to see Marcella this morning, but you're seeing me. Let me introduce myself. Sydney Caswell, and my husband and I lead the Worcester County Church of Christ, the Worcester Church, as we call it. And I'm really happy to be here. I'll just give you a couple seconds to watch, to be here, to sign in, check in, and all those good things. Anyways, I'm excited to be here and excited to get to be a part of Tuesday's Treasure. I love that name. Such a great name. And just being able to get together in the morning and look at God's word for a second and give us a thought to chew on the rest of the day, or maybe the rest of the week, or maybe the rest of your life. I guess we'll see. But anyways, it's really great to be here. Good morning. I'm so happy. The sun is out. The snow has decided to go away from New England. Although I have heard we might still get some hail, which should, it's just all wrong. We know it, but that's what happens when you choose to live in New England. You don't know what you're going to get for the weather. And we can't complain because spring did come nice and early this year. So, but anyways, I have some thoughts today that I've been chewing on for a while and kind of excited to share. So I hope that they will be thoughts that encourage you or resonate with you as well. So anyways, yeah, as people come in, I'll just wait maybe a minute. I'm very impatient to get started, but maybe I'll just wait a minute. But hello to you, wherever you're from. And obviously you're tuning into YouTube, and can say hello in the comments, or, give us a thumbs up and let us know that you enjoy this time. And hopefully maybe even you're someone who watches every Tuesday because you just are enjoying being fed. And on Thursdays with Ida, Thirst Thursdays, that he puts out a devotional on Thursday, which is really encouraging. So it is awesome during this time to be able to do something different and to be able to pull together in ways that we just weren't doing before. So of course, with everything, there is the silver lining, which is God working. And I think that technology and our connection through technology is one of the silver linings that we have from coronavirus. So anyways, I would love to start with a illustration, a prop. So I got these beautiful flowers for Mother's Day. Look at them. Oh my gosh. And look at the color of that yellow even. From Tom, my husband, which I'm so grateful because I love flowers. I never say I want flowers, but I always want flowers. I love flowers and plants. And then my husband, who is also talented in the art department. Give me this. Look at that. It's like he sat and he drew the flowers that he gave me. Now, let me tell you, he just did this morning. I gave him about 10 minutes notice and a bunch of Sharpies and a piece of paper. That's pretty good, right? My flower would have been a stem with, 5 petals. But look at that. He's an artist. So let me ask you, which one, if I were going to drive to your house today and drop one off, which one would you want? Would you want the copy? Or would you want the real thing? Well, that's my thought for today. That is what we're going to talk about, is a copy versus the real thing. And, just during this time, I have been sharing, and my friends have been expressing, and maybe you have been expressing just how much we miss being able to be together face to face. Church, we're a very huggy group of people. And I know even one one friend, Rosie Molina, said hugs to everyone. She's going to wear a t-shirt that says, "Watch out, like here I come with my bear hug." And I feel like that really expresses what a lot of us feel right now is I can't wait to just really be able to be together, to worship together face to face, just hearing everybody's voice singing together, being able to hug and really touch people that are outside of your little bubble of family or roommate or whoever it is, smiling. As I walk around in the store with my mask on, I feel like I want to draw a picture of a smile on my mask because I realize how much I look at people and read them by their smile or their lack of smile, and how you feel like you're walking around blind when people have a mask on. So just being able to be together too and see each other face to face without a mask or any obstruction in the way, laughing, holding hands, touching, and in general, when I'm expressing these things, with our friends in general, what a wonderful thing we're looking forward to. But I'm especially thinking about church, just being able to be together to worship with my spiritual family. Man, I can't wait. In one room all together after this time of fasting, fellowship fasting, basically, because of our quarantine. And it will feel like such an incredible joy to be together. And I know I'm not the only one feeling that. I feel like everybody is feeling that. And especially if you have a spiritual family that's close. So you feel like I have a family of hundreds of people and I'm missing them all right now. It's as if our current worship is a little bit anemic. And I don't say that in a negative way, like, we have stepped up and you have stepped up, just being able to adjust at a moment's notice to having church services online, to train a worship online, to have conversations with friends via the computer, and we can sing along in front of a screen, yes, but it's fair to say it's not the same, right? It is not the same. And we can pray together even over the phone or over, a video chat. And I've been doing that for years with friends, but it's not the same as face-to-face, right? Face it. When I see people, I give them an air hug. I tell them air hug. It's not the same. There's no body in the hug. It's safe to say it's a mere shadow of the real thing. It's a copy. It's this, it's this. It's nice and it will get us by, but it's no replacement for the real thing that you can touch and smell and feel. And that thought, just thinking of wow, how much I miss our face-to-face worship has made me think, what about beyond that? So if our virtual worship is just a copy of the real worship when we get together, what's if our real worship, our face-to-face worship when we get together, is just a copy, a kind of a bad copy of what it would be like in heaven? Our worship, our communion, our prayers, our talking to God. Right now, we get to pray and we know He listens and He answers our prayers. It's amazing, powerful communication we have with God. And yet, imagine when you're in heaven, it's face-to-face conversation with the Creator of the universe. To read His eyes and feel His energy, completely the real deal, right? Being able to hear His words spoken from His mouth directly, completely amazing. And being able to worship, imagine, with the angels singing, it would just take our breath away. We would just have to hum along. We just couldn't even contain ourselves, I picture. And what we have here is just a mere copy of what heaven will have to offer. And I wanted to read a couple passages because I did come across scriptures that totally express this thought. From the New Living Translation, Hebrews 8, verse 3 through 5, is talking about, the Old Testament tabernacle versus Jesus coming. And it talks about, the sacrifices that the priests had to make and things like that. But Hebrews 8, verse 3 says, "And since every high priest is required to offer gifts and sacrifices, our high priest must make an offering too. If he were here on earth, he would not even be a priest, since there already are priests who offer the gifts required by the law. They serve in a system of worship that is only a copy, a shadow of the real one in heaven. For when Moses was getting ready to build the tabernacle, God gave him this warning: be sure that you make everything according to the pattern I've shown you here on the mountain." So what, the priests did, even making the tabernacle, was from a pattern that God has in heaven. They called it a copy, a shadow of the real one in heaven. And yet we know from the Old Testament how much they treasured the tabernacle and the temple, which was also a copy and a shadow of things to come. They treasured it, and yet it's not the real thing. And then also, just looking one chapter later, Hebrews 9, verse 24 says, "For Christ did not enter into a holy place made with human hands." When he died on the cross, Christ did not enter in a holy place made with human hands, which was only a copy of the true one in heaven. He entered into heaven itself to appear now before God on our behalf. So again, when Jesus died on the cross, it's making the point that he didn't enter the holy place, made by humans. He entered the one made by God itself. He went to heaven. That's the real thing. It's not a copy or a shadow. And one more passage I want to look at. It's 1 Corinthians 13, verse 12. And I'm sorry if I'm going fast. I only got a little bit of time. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 12 says, "Now we see things imperfectly, like puzzling reflections in a mirror. But then we will see everything with perfect clarity. All that I know now is partial and incomplete. But then I will know everything completely, just as God now knows me completely." What an incredible thought, that what we see here it's imperfect. It's like a bad reflection in a mirror. Even though what we see, we love and we cling to, especially at church with our worship. But imagine heaven being so much more amazing. So just a couple practicals I take from that. One is to be so grateful for what I have. I mean, I feel like so many of us are just like, man, I feel like I took my worship for granted, my church family for granted. Like, pour yourself out to express your gratitude. Thankfulness is a feeling. Being grateful is an action. So even now, ways that you can find to express to people in your spiritual family gratitude for them being in your life. Take advantage of it. Don't wait till you're together. Do it now. Secondly, is just look forward to heaven. I feel like we don't talk about heaven enough. We don't contemplate it. We don't think about it, because, man, that prize is going to be incredible. That walk with God will be so amazing, well worth any valleys, mountains, hills, rocks that we have to go through to get there. And thirdly is just, if you feel like, I don't have a church family, I'm not sure about heaven, I'm not sure if I believe in that or not, really, then let's get together. I would happy to share with you just verses in the Bible and see if you could be persuaded from the Word of God. Heaven is real, and it is a place, and it is something, just that relationship with God that we can have now is incredible and is only going to get better. So you can private message me or Sydney Caswell on Facebook, or here as well. But I hope that encourages you for the day. My time is up, and have an amazing walk with God and time reflecting on what heaven will be like. Thanks.